Okay, part 2 for Gary. So Gary, we're about to do the reactivation of that masculine energy, going back 5 generations of masculine energy that's blocked, that's stopping you from downloading that ancient wisdom, that ancient masculinity that has been lost at the moment. It's just not being accessed and found within your circuitry. Okay, so let's see what we need to do to really kick in which affirmations are really important. Sorry, I got goosebumps. Okay. I now choose to remove all blocks that are preventing my ancient knowledge and wisdom from emerging. I now choose to remove all blocks that are preventing my ancient knowledge and wisdom from emerging. Okay, is there psychological reversal? There is with this one. Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust, deserve. So this one is, I don't think I deserve it. I deserve to let go of this problem. I do not deserve to let go of this problem. Yeah, there's an imbalance there. And is it first, second, third, and it's third stage stress. Okay. Okay. I connect back to my original tribal source and use this knowledge in positive ways for my evolution. I connect back to my original tribal source and use this knowledge in positive ways for my evolution. Okay, first, second, that's also in third stage stress. So there's chronic fatigue of that affirmation within your soul. And your family lineage. Is there psychological reversal? Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. There's no trust that you can link back to that tribal source. Okay. Using and working with my ancient knowledge and wisdom keeps me in my own power at all times. Using and working with my ancient knowledge and wisdom keeps me in my own power at all times. Okay. So is that first, second, third? That's also third stage stress, so chronic fatigue of that energy. Is there psychological reversal? Yes, there is. Want, need, think. Okay, so this one's a more conscious, a more mind thing. So your brain doesn't think you can let go of this. And probably because, Gary, you've been working on this all of your life. So it's just something that's so embedded and deep in your energy systems that your brain just can't think that you can let go of it and that you can reconnect to this source. So one of the things that is a good idea to do is to sit down and just close your eyes and just start visualizing, because it doesn't matter whether it's imaginary, because let's face it, we need the energy there. So I want you to visualize all the men in your family line. Just visualize them back for hundreds of years, whatever little pictures come to you. And imagine a little thread traveling between all of those men. And allow only the positive. So whatever color works for you with positive, whether it's golden or a beautiful white or a beautiful blue healing light, whatever works for you, imagine that light going from one of them to the next, to the next, to the next, and coming towards you so that you can feel the energy of those generational masculine men coming into your soul to feed your soul, to feed your masculinity, to empower you, to allow you to feel that masculine love, that masculine worthiness, that masculine empowerment. Just feel that in your heart and soul. I just start to feel lighter over my heart chakra. Interesting. There's more affirmations that we need to do? No? Is there more energy we need in there before we do the balance? Yes, there is. Is there anything else in here? Yes, there is. Okay. Okay, I thought there might be an energetic attachment, but it's sort of a negative attachment. It's not that. Oh, okay, we're back to curses again. So, with all of that online, so we've got the 5 generations masculine, we've got all of these affirmations around that infinite wisdom down that masculine line, and now there's something still going on with curses, so let's check that out. My body and energy fields are 100% free from curses. I remove all curses from my systems and I put an end to the fear that they have created. There is no need for me to be bound by the energy of curses. I start my life anew. None of those are showing up at the moment, Gary. So let's have a look at the other ones. There's 40 on the page. And I know we did the big ones last time. Okay, so is that the only one? Oh, there's something else. Okay. I safely remove all curses brought through into this lifetime. I safely remove all curses brought through into this lifetime. Okay. Is it third, second? That one's second stage stress, so your nervous system's working really hard not to be affected by that. Is there psychological reversal? Yes, there is. Want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve. Once again, this is deserving, which is really interesting in a masculine line. Why is it that your soul, your heart, you've been born with this lack of connection to the masculine strength in your family? Maybe it's being an empath, you know, so maybe there's some belief there, well, if you're an empath, you can't be a strong masculine man, you know, maybe. Just sort of interesting, because deserve's shown up a couple of times. Oh, hello. Here's a new one, which I'm not sure if this one's shown up before. I release all cursed relationships. I release all cursed relationships. I stop attracting cursed relationships. I stop attracting cursed relationships. Beautiful. Okay, so that's where we need to go with the affirmations. So once again, what do we need to do with it? Okay, so do we need to... There's a flower essence we need to diffuse some stress. So the first one showing up is called Little Flannel Flower. That's an Australian bush flower essence. And it's for when, maybe it's something about the masculinity within the family, not being able to hug, not being able to speak truth, being able to, you know, doing all that, the negative masculine stuff about sucking it up and, you know, and not talking and communicating in the house. Because Little Flannel Flower, it's that energy of where you just need a bloody energetic hug. So here's my energetic hug for you, Gary. All the way over there. Okay, so Little Flannel Flower. Yeah, so that is very much about when we have been abused, and often it's as a child, and therefore we build up our boundaries. And if someone had come in at that moment, when we were little, when we were hurting, when we were traumatized, when we were feeling cursed, If someone had come in and just hugged us and protected us and said, Gary, everything's going to be okay. Imagine what it would have, a difference it would have made in our lives if that had happened in those pivotal moments in our life where things seem to be spiraling out of control. Okay, so again, so this is messing with your celestial circuit again. Cool. So we'll pop those coordinates in. So remember, on the pubic bone, CV24, CV23, base of the skull, tailbone. So there's some of the coordinates for the celestial circuit. But you can just hold your tongue on the roof of the mouth at any stage, hands over the pubic bone, or down here at the 7th chakra, the base chakra. So just holding those and breathe and allow the energy to travel through from the celestial circuit to the governing and back again. So that helps to connect your conscious and unconscious meridian pathways. Yeah. And it's the masculine energy that's exhausted. So let's just calm that, bring that back into balance. Actually, let me check where your dantian is. Yeah, okay, so is it off to the left? Is it off to the right? Yeah, so it's more things, it's sort of funny, it's more things that you've heard that have been damaging. So even though you've probably felt them in your body, and all of our senses work, but there's some things that you've heard about you, potentially from yourself, not necessarily from other selves. Or once again, because we're going through a generational thing, maybe it's stuff that they've heard, you know, dad, you know, dad. Maybe it's stuff they've heard, they've sucked it up, princess, they've locked it into their cellular energy, and it's just come down that family line. But you know the book by Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway? One of her things that she talks about is how many thousands, tens of thousands of thought we have a day. And when we're in a negative space, like 90% of them can be negative. And our brain doesn't know what's real or imaginary. It just assumes it's true if we're telling ourselves those things. And don't forget the emotional stress release points between the eyebrows and the hairline. So that's an area that you can hold any time when you're feeling stressed. And of course, once again, sort of like, you know, running that central meridian, holding your hand. Don't forget you can hold your hand at the base of the skull as well as at the front, and hold those until you feel nice and warm underneath your frontal hand. And that helps to connect your conscious brain with your unconscious brain, which is very much what this combination is doing. So your central and governing meridian. Yeah, so your central and governing meridian, they are so central is your conscious meridian, governing is your unconscious meridian. Beautiful. Okay, so let's have another look, see where it's at. Firstly, the dantian. Yeah, it's not quite there. It's shifted though. Oh, it's closer. Still not quite right, but it's getting closer. Once again, best, no, neither of those techniques. Oh, okay, we need a tuning fork combination. So I'll stop and start it again. I'll see which coordinates are showing up first. Lung, that's grief, guilt, regret. So that's really old stuff. Yeah, linked in with self-worth, depression, inability to let go, sadness, toxic shame. Okay. So some big stuff locked in those lungs. Yeah, right, small intestine energy. So that's the imbalance between love, joy, and hate in small intestine. Yeah, so once again, there's some sorrow, sadness. Yeah, right. It's like the nervous system doesn't want you to get excited because you know there's going to be a thud afterwards. So it's like, don't go up here and learn anything because you're not going to, you won't be able to do it. So it's sort of like it doesn't want you to get excited about anything because there could be the corresponding disappointment. And small intestine energy is the grandmother energy of lungs. Okay, so now we'll do this